Hey, this is Diane Gibbs with Creatives Ignite, and today I'm going to show you how to make a smart object and then edit that smart object so that you can change the colors. And here's why you might want to do that. Here's something that I painted in my sketchbook. I painted about 4 of these pages with the same colors, knowing that I could change the colors of the stems or I could change the colors of the flowers. But first, to create a smart object, and I'm not exactly going into how to make I am, but not super detailed on cleaning. But you have to clean, you have to get all the stuff out of the background. And each of these little things that you want to be able to change, it could be together, it could be separate. And I specifically did these separate. I placed on another layer. So I'm just going to skip through the cleaning process. And just so you know, I see some things that are a mistake. Because more than likely, I am going to... I see this little bit of white that's left in this, and there's a couple other spots. Sometimes that doesn't really bother me. Here and here, it probably bothers me, definitely here. So what I'm going to do is I put a black layer on the very bottom, and I just turn that off, because I can't really see those white pieces. And oftentimes I will put a white piece, especially if it's a dark piece, so that I can see it better. So to be able to, I want to select this, but I have so many layers. Although I did call them flower or stem, it doesn't really help. So if you right click, if you hit the control on a Mac, if you hit the control key, and it'll show you what layer. So layer 17, it might mean, hey, I'm on that black layer, but I really want stem 24. And now it's got me stem 24. And if that isn't working for you, you do have to have auto select selected in the upper menu. So I'm going to zoom in because, but currently this is a smart object. I actually can't do anything to this. Now, because this is something that I want to be in anything that I've done, I'm actually going to rasterize this layer so that I'm getting rid of the smart object for a second so that I can clean this up and get it to what I want to be. I'm going to very quickly clean up this layer with just an eraser with a hard edge. I could do it with a pen tool. I definitely need something smaller, but this is probably a pretty fast way for me to go about. And I'm just hitting the left bracket to get it even smaller. And I'm just going to erase. And why I got a small one was so that I could get into those little crevices. Now if I could make it a little bigger but I don't want to, erase something that's blue. And you could use the magic wand, but sometimes I've found that it's selecting too much. So now I'm going to go to a bigger brush. I'm going to go over here and get this little bit that's over here. And I see a little bit of white there. I don't mind that. It's just the stuff on the edge. So I'm going to make my brush a little bigger, or a good bit bigger. And I'm just going to edit this. Now, this is a layer all on its own. It doesn't have anything else on this layer. That's how I'm making these smart objects. And it could have been both the flower and this, but it wasn't. So I'm going to show you how I use this. Now, I kept a lot of the white that was inside the flower just because I felt like it worked with it, so it didn't bother me. Now, to make this a smart object, I have made a quick key command, and it's very easy to do, but so I've made an action. I did it once, which is I just had the thing selected and I was hit record. So I can make another video on that. I'm not going to, but I have this as a quick key, which is Command F4 for me. You can make your own. It's not going to work for you because I had to make an action, but pretty much I go to this in the layers panel. I go to the hamburger menu and I say, convert to smart object. That just takes a while. So Command whatever is faster than doing that every time. So here I have it. Now, if I wanted to adjust, now it's clean and that's what I want. Say I wanted to make this a different color. First, let's take this one and this one over. I just need to see what this one is. So this is flower 26 and stem 24. Those are the two we want. So I have So I'm looking for flower 26. And there's flower 26. I'm just going to hold option or command down so I have both of these selected, and I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to go to a new document. It doesn't really matter. It's going to make it kind of small anyway. But here it is, right? So I still have 2 smart objects. That means I can adjust the color on each individually because I've done them separately. So I'm just going to turn off this with the flower. Now you can see, again, I could select and make the background black. So I have a tiny bit of white there. I could fix if I wanted. I have a tiny bit of white there. Let's look at this. I have a good bit of white here, but again, I'm okay with that. So I'm going to let it be as is. I can turn this off. If I want this stem to be green, because it's on a separate layer, I have a smart object here. That's the stem, and a smart object here. Again, when I was cleaning them, I just had to separate them. I'll show you one that's a little bit harder that I don't have separated. So I'm going to double click on this layer, and I can't just double click on the layer. I actually have to, because it doesn't give me what I want. I want to double click on the image that is the smart object. Now you'll see I actually could draw something in. Say I wanted another leaf. Obviously wouldn't want it in black, but let's just say I did. It would be there. So I would save this. I mean, this is terrible. I would probably never do this. So let's undo real quick. I would always do it on a new layer. So say I was drawing something. Let's just say that's what I wanted. I'm going to hit save, and you'll notice this is a PSB. So when you're doing mock-ups, you'll see PSB, and then you close this. You command W, and it goes back, and then this is there. Where this helps is when you're making patterns that have this flower used lots of times, because you always want this there. Well, the reason I did so many flowers is that I didn't want exact repeats. I wanted the pattern to be more interesting. So I'm going to double click again here, and I'm actually just going to delete this layer. But what if I just want to change the color of this, which is very realistic? There are a couple ways to do it. I like to do things in layers so that I can always go back to this one. So if I'm going to do an adjustment, I'm not going to go to image adjustment up here. I'm actually going to do an adjustment layer. Or sometimes if I was masking, I wanted to get rid of this leaf, I would do a mask layer. So for this, in this instance, we're going to do a hue saturation, and I'm going to get it to be the color that I want it to be. So I want it to be not exactly, but we're going to darken it up just a little. Okay, now I'm going to save this, and I'm going to close this. Now I have a green with this light blue. Say I want to change this. Now, because I'm not working in, these are, sorry, let me go back to the one I was supposed to be on. I mean, this isn't repeated anywhere here, right? So I usually will clean them, get them where I want them, and then I start placing them into my pattern. I don't use this cleaned file to do any of these edits usually. So let me show you this real quick. Hang on. All right, so now you see my pattern that I made. Again, I had these little things separate, and I ended up making them in a group so the flower was together. So if you look, this is flower 6, but it is flower number 23 and stem number 26. So where I'm doing these changes is happening in this file. Now, did I use stem 26 again? I don't know, but if I did, it would change as I do this. So like these dots, I know I did multiple dots. I did, let's see, dot 2, dot 3, dot 3, dot 4, dot 5. So dot 3 is a copy. So if I make a change to dot 3, it probably will change this one also. So this is the beauty of the smart object, but I'm just going to show you here. So if I wanted this stem to change colors, I would need to do, again, a reversible change. So I'm going to go back to hue saturation like I did before. I'm going to bring it to a little bit greener, and darken it up. I actually think it was probably a little bit more green. Okay, and I'm going to save, and then you close that window, Command W. And now you see, now granted I didn't use it except right there, but let's change. I mean, I don't like to use the same image multiple times. That's why I would paint a lot of them. But let's do the dot. This dot right here is the same as, I believe, this dot right here. Okay, so we have two different dots. I'm going to edit dot 3. This is dot 3, and this is dot 3 copy. Now, once I edit dot 3, it probably will change the color on dot 3 copy. So double click it. Easiest way that's non-invasive is to hit the layer mask. So now I'm going to change it pretty significantly, and let's go with this orange. Let's lighten it up just a little. Just want to make sure you can see it, and I'm going to hit save. And what I would do, because I would need to change dot 2, dot 4, dot 5, dot 6, I would just copy these numbers down. So -144, 68, and a 13. So that I would have that. I'm going to save that and then Command W. And now you notice it changed it. Look, this is dot 3, and I only changed it once, right? So dot 3 copy, it got changed, and dot 3 got changed. So this is the beauty of doing things that are multiples. Now I could go into dot 3 copy, and it has that same. So if I wanted to just hide this, just turn it off, save, window. Now all my dots are the same. If I go back to my flower, which I can't remember which flower this is. So stem 26, this is the group. In flower 6, it's stem 26. I want to choose stem 26. Double click on that object, and I can just hide that. So I can save and window. And yes, that's normal. So now I'm back to what I did. But if I wanted to really change this, I would make these changes, but I would write down those colors that I was changing it to so that I could apply it to dot 1, dot 2, dot 4, dot 5, right? If you wanted them all to be different, then it wouldn't matter. You could just do them individually. Now, here's another situation where I have I have these lines that I've done that I change colors often, and I actually just save them. Like, it's not that big of a file, so I just save it as this is the indigo file. But if you notice, this is what it is. So in the smart object, there isn't a color change. But if I wanted to, or say I wanted to delete something, so let's do a mask on this one. So say I wanted this whole line to be gone. White reveals, black conceals. So I want to be painting with black because I want to cover up. Now I just need to make sure my brush is the size I need, and I probably just need a hard brush because I don't want to have any like soft edges. So say I just want to rip complete. Now this is not taking anything away. This is just a masked layer, right? So now I hit save, and I can go back now. It's if I was using, again, when I'm using these, I'm not making these changes here in this cleaned, edited file, but I want to show you. All I have to do is just take this to the trash, and I want to hit delete. I don't want to apply. So that's another way. I wanted to show you one other way, and it was with these flowers. So these flowers I've already cleaned. And this is one where it's not a different color, right? This green part isn't separated. It is in the same, I haven't taken the time to make this change, right? So there are a couple ways you could do this. Say I wanted to change this pink color. Well, it's not really selecting everything. I've double clicked in to the smart object. So that's probably not a great way to do it. So you could do, let's do it a different way. So I'm going to hit select color range, and I want kind of everything that's in this, and I just clicked something in here, right? So I hit OK, and it made the selection for me. Now, if I don't want this to change, then I might or it doesn't look like it's all selected, I may need to go in and kind of select a little bit more. Because I have this add on to the selection, I'm just going to quickly kind of draw around this so that I'm getting more of like these little pieces, and it doesn't really matter. So now all of that's selected. Now I could make a smart object from this, but I have a couple pieces that aren't actually there. There's nothing selected here. So I wanted to hit the V key, which is I want to go to the move tool, which is the V key. And then I do an up and a down. Now you see that my running ants are just on the stuff. They're not going to actually add more pixels into this piece. And I could make a smart object of just this. So the way, you would go to your hamburger menu and do that, but I have this as a quick key. So now I have this as a smart object. What I normally would do is I would cut this, and I'm going to, and you can see that there's some other hindering stuff, that leftovers that didn't get selected, which is not what I want. I actually would want all of this selected, so I'm actually going to have to go in and select this whole bit. And I'm just going to do a really quick, because I want all of this selected, I'm just holding the spacebar down, and now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do V, up, down. Now I have the whole thing. So when I hit cut, it's all gone. There's not a remnants. And I'm going to paste in place, which is Command Shift V. That way it's in the right place. Now I can make two separate smart objects. I know the whole thing was a smart object, and now I've just made it two more. It would be easier if I had just done this in the beginning. That's obviously why I normally would do this. But let's just go ahead and make each of these a smart object on their own, which I have as a quick key command in my actions. So in my actions, I've already made this. So Command F4. And then I'm going to do that here, Command F4. Now I'm inside a smart object, inside a smart object. So if I want this flower to be a different color, again, I would not be doing this on this level. I would be in my pattern. I would have already placed these. Now it will be easier. But if I was using this in a pattern, which I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to change this color. Again, I'm doing it I don't know. I can't even remember what the word is called, but I'm not going to be messing anything up. So say I want to adjust this so that it is a little bit more. Let's try to go purple. Okay, there's purple. It's a little too bright for me. So I'm just going to take the saturation down a little bit, and I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. Maybe the saturation. And then I would just write this down. So I always have a pad of paper next to me. So that's a -86. Except I'm not sure why, because I can always come back to this. And I don't have to do this multiple. So we're just going to hit, I'm not going to write it down. I'm going to hit save and window. And now I'm back to this one. And then I'm going to just leave the green the way it is. So I'm going to save and window, because I was in a PSB. So granted, I wouldn't necessarily do this unless I was in my file. So say I'm making a new file. I always start to work at a 12 by 12. So it must be 3600, or I could do 600 DPI, but I'm going to do 3600 by 3600, but at 300 DPI. And that'll give me a 12 by 12. So I have a 12 by 12. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that smart object. Now, it has a double smart object. I'd have to go in and dive down again to do that, to change that. Now let's put this into pattern mode so you can see it at work. I'm going to view and pattern preview. And okay. Now, granted, I just have one of these right now. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. Now, if I just pasted it in again, it would be different. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back here, and just so that you can see it, I know this is not the right one. I'm going to go back into this, and I'm just going to turn that, it's there still, but I'm going to save, window, save, window. Okay, now I'm going to copy this, smart object, copy. And now I'm going to go back to my untitled. And I'm going to paste this. Now this one, as you notice, it's all behind the same thing. So sometimes I don't like to just have the exact same flower multiple times because it gets boring to me. So I would flip some things or something. So with this one, I'm just going to flip it. Now nothing's going to happen to the others. It's just going to happen here. So I'm just going to do a transform, flip horizontal. So now at least I have a little bit of a difference, and maybe I'll just rotate it so it's a little bit more vertical. And if I want to do the same for this one, just so that it's a little bit more vertical, and this one I'm going to leave angled, and well, no, this one I'm going to change so it's a little bit more the opposite way. So now I have 4 flowers. They're all the exact same, which I don't like because I can actually tell. But let's just say I'm doing something like this. Now, I don't necessarily want this one to be, I want it to be behind. So I'm going to put this on the bottom. And I'm going to just move this one kind of like this. Now, if this was my thing that I'm doing, now we know that we pasted in just this. Now, I'm going to go back just to show you. Now, I pasted in one of these purple ones. I pasted, and then I copied. And then I had layer 3. All this is layer 2. Layer 2 copy, layer 2 copy, layer 2. That helps me to know that it's the same thing. So if I'm going to go back to this, I'm going to dive into it again. And I'm going to turn this back on. I'm going to save window, and then I'm going to copy this. Now I'm pasting in from that original again. Now I can go in. Now this is only once, right? So I'm going to go into this. That's layer 4. I'm going to go into this layer 2 copy. I'm going to double click because I have to get into this. Now say I want to adjust these colors. I want this one to be more bright orange, maybe. Okay, so I'm going to save window. And it's just telling me I haven't had enough time to save and close the window. Now I have 3 of these and only 1 of these. So if I wanted that original again, then I just have to paste it more than once from the original. Do you understand? So smart objects can work great. I personally would rather see 5 different flowers painted. They can all be the same color, and then you change the colors like this. But then I can use 5 flowers in this motif so much faster. So I would just copy these all. So now I can just move them all. And then I can start adjusting where they are because they would be 5 different flowers. I kind of feel, personally, I think this is the lazy man's pattern making when you're only using the same flower because it's so distinct that it is the same. Now, granted, you're changing and you're adjusting it, but that would be where I would have a little bit of an issue. I'm going to show you one more thing with smart objects that hopefully will help. Now, finally, I'm going to the one that I keep wanting to select, and it's this one. So say I have 3 flowers here, but say I didn't want this one. So right now I have 2 smart objects. If I want them both to go into my new thing, I select them both over here, I copy, and now we're going to go back to this untitled 2. And I'm going to paste. Okay. And you can kind of tell I did these around the same time. They're not exactly the same kind of flowers, but I'm okay with that. Say I want to make these smaller. These are going to be smaller flowers in this. But I really, and then maybe if I want to duplicate these, I can just drag it down to the duplicate and then just move them, right? And they don't have to stay in the same position even together. Like I can move this one to be over here. It doesn't have to, I wouldn't want it on top, obviously, but I can move things. I can adjust it. But say I want this one to not have this other flower. I don't like this. I just want to cut off, or, I'm not really going to cut it off. This is layer 5 copy. It's also going to affect layer 5. So I'm just going to double click, and now I'm already in the editable smart object. Well, again, I would just do this with a mask. I'm not going to actually cut anything unless I was going to cut it so that it was its own flower. But they share the same stem, so I actually just want to get rid of this one. So I'm getting not the eraser. I want the brush. Black reveals, white conceals, because I'm just going to make my brush a little bit bigger so that I can get this done a little faster. And I am going to now I'm going to make my brush a little smaller so I don't mess up this part. And I could have left some of the stem, not this, but I'm just not, because I think it can be funky to do that. So I'm just going to kind of taper it so it looks more natural. Okay, so now I save and window. Nothing's gone, but now if you notice, it's gone in both. Now, if I wanted it to not be gone in all of them, then I would have to go back to my original and paste it in again. So to me, there's a beauty in using smart objects. It helps you not have to paint 80 different flowers, which I'm all for. But I do think that you need to have some that are different. So you need to paint different ones. And I don't know if I'm close to the same size. Yeah, pretty close. So now I can place this one wherever I want it. And, I can flip it. I could do other things, but now I have that extra flower as well. Hopefully this makes sense. Smart objects are amazing. I don't usually edit them on just their regular layer of wherever I clean them. I leave that open so that I can go back and copy and paste until I have what I need. But I'm usually editing the smart objects on this layer. Hopefully that helps. A little bit of training in smart objects and patterns. I hope you have a great day.